And hello, everyone, and welcome to Wrestling Territories Podcast. I'm your host, Troy. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. Now, Manny Fernandez is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. He was one of my favorites growing up, and he could do everything. He was a heck of a wrestler. He could cut good promos. He was good as a face. He was good as a heel. Now, my personal opinion, even though I've done some research on it, I don't think he's ever wrestled for the WWF in the past. But in my opinion, he should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. So let's talk about the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. All right, so let's get into talking about the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. Fernandez um, had a really good career. He wrestled and mostly in the Mid Atlantic territory, although I did see him in AWA, I remember. We're going to go back just a little bit. We're going to talk about him. And we're going to talk about some of the his career highlights mostly. And so we're going to start out with 1979. He became the Florida heavyweight champion after a feud with Terry Funk. That's a good way to get your career started, honestly, because Terry Funk was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And then he would become a tag team partner with the American Dream Dusty Rhodes in the NWA, the Mid Atlantic Territory, Jim Crockett Promotions. And they would become the NWA Tag Team Champions, defeating Don Cornudle and Ivan Koloff to become those tag team champions. And in that time, they held the titles for quite a bit of time. I think I have to get the exact date on that, but it was several months. I think it was like from possibly October or November until of 84 until like early 85. But but we'll talk about that later. But his next feud, after they lost the tag titles back to the Russians, was with Arn Anderson. And he teamed with Thunderbolt Patterson after Ole Anderson turned on Thunderbolt. They battled for the national tag titles, and Arn and Ole won that contest to take those tag titles. But he did have a heck of a feud with Double A Arn Anderson. And if you've never seen any of those matches with Arn, you need to check those matches out either on Peacock or somewhere here on YouTube. Okay, so going back and taking a look at those tag team title reigns that he had with Dusty Rhodes, it was actually from October 20th, 1984 until March 18th, 1985. So 149 days as tag team champions. And that's nothing shabby at all. And I mean, you had your first big feud with Terry Funk, then you have another big feud against the Russians with Dusty Rhodes, your tag team partner. So honestly, that is really, really good way to start your career. And sharing more about the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, and uh, I just like the way he could cut a promo. I want to show you some promos. Of course, I had to cover those up so I don't get dinged by YouTube. But anyway, he had a heck of a good career in ring. If you've never seen him wrestle, you do yourself a favor and do check out some of his matches. He teamed with the Boogie Woogie Man for a while. He was a fan favorite in the Mid Atlantic. I mean, a big time fan favorite. Winning the Brass Knuckles Championship from Black Bart, and of course the tag team titles with Dusty Rhodes, and then later on become the World Tag Team Champions again with Ravishing Rick Rude. And so he had a heck of a career. And I do remember, like I said, he was in AWA for a while, but we're going to talk about his championship accomplishments here in just a second. Okay, so I don't actually have the exact dates on all these championships he won. So they're not in any particular order, but he did win the APW Universal title, the Lucha Extreme US title, the Central States Championship. All these are just one times. He was a one time Florida champion in the CWF and a one time Florida TV champion. Continental CWA, he was a champion there. Let's see, Eastern States Championship Wrestling. A one-time champion there, International Wrestling Association, a one-time champion there. Brass Knuckles Championship, as I talked about earlier. This is all Jim Crockett era right here with the Mid Atlantic. The Brass Knuckles is, and the two-time World Tag Team Champion. And in the PWI, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he ranked 188 out of 500 in 2003. That was 500 best wrestlers of all time, so it's 188. He had a PWI ranking of 88 out of 100. with his tag team partner Dusty Rhodes. So that's pretty cool. To be ranked, he was ranked pretty good. In my opinion, could have been ranked a little higher. But he's also a South West champion, brass knuckles champion, tag team champion, and world tag team champion. The CSW and WWC, the World Wrestling Council, a one-time champion of the North American and a one-time Puerto Rican champion as well. So now we're going to take a look at some of his interviews and stuff, maybe a little bit of some matches. I'll show you where he turned on Boogie Woogie Man to go with Paul Jones. But honestly, the Raging Bull was really good. And in my opinion, deserves, like I say, to be in any Hall of Fame. And so let's check out some of his highlights for the Mid Atlantic territories. All right, again, so I have to cover just so I don't get dinged by YouTube. But you kind of get an idea. You can see the match pretty decently there. But that's kind of like one of them Road Warrior matches. They ran in, they destroyed the guys pretty quickly. And again, Raging Bull and Rick Rude. I talked about this in a previous podcast. Should they have been the World Tag Team Champions? I don't really know at that time they should have. I would really honestly love to have seen them to kind of grow as a tag team. They were kind of thrown together there towards the end of '86 and then gave them the title shot and gave them the title run. They did have some good matches against the Road Warriors as well, but then Rick Rude does leave. But the thing is, if they'd have probably teamed them up just a little bit earlier and has like maybe just a hint of feud with the Rock and Roll Express, kind of like teasing some things, I think it would have went over real well, and their run as World Tag Team Champions could have been longer. As a matter of fact, it probably would have been a good idea to let them win the tag belts at Starrcade '86. But again, there was after Starrcade when they did it, and it didn't have much of a big run. But not saying they were a horrible tag team. It just I think they were kind of done an injustice.
And it would never
Now here's the heel turn. Let's just listen to this a little bit.
Right now, we'll tell the people. I apologize. No, hold on. I want to talk to you about the way that, this man always said that money couldn't buy him, but you bought him. Now you bring in this guy. What are you afraid of? Well, David, I'm not afraid of anything. And what you see right here, the Bull and I standing side by side.
I don't know how well you can hear that, but Paul Jones is just telling him that he's going to change his whole life with a lot of money.
Now, here you are. You're bringing your suitcase full of money out for Manny Fernandez. This was the night, do or die. Either Manny would make an idiot out of me again, but I was willing to take the chance because the man is worth every $100 bill you're looking at right now. Now Manny Fernandez expected the money, and then he looked up at Jimmy Valiant, and as a brilliant man as he is, and with tremendous ability and a great athlete right there, the people cheer because they figure that Manny is going to take the briefcase and give it back to me. But the smart man he is, he knows it's a dead-end road with Jimmy Valiant, the ball-headed geek. So look at it. I extend my hands not only as a leader, a great leader, but as a friend. There, look at there, look at there. United, united. The dollar. I told you everybody has a price. And Jimmy Valiant just met his price right there. As you see, my new compadre, my amigo, my buddy, as we walk off to the dressing room. You see, I told you it was safe. Now right here, ravishing Rick Rude. Rick, show the people that beautiful body with the men's spear. And I want that World TV belt to finish you off right there. That's right, David Crockett. I'm feeling real fine and looking even better. I can make a burlap sack feel like a cashmere sweater. And just imagine how I can make you feel, ladies. Take a look at them fat, pot-bellied old men sitting there. Now take a look at two fine athletes and the mastermind behind it all, Paul Jones. It's winding down real quick, isn't it? Starrcade, the biggest event in wrestling history, and we're going to be right in the midst of it all, aren't we, Manny?
You know, when you talk about great rivalries, when you talk about great teams in the world today, the man that owns it goes out and financially stabilizes himself, if you know what I mean. He goes out and buys the best talent and the best people he can find. That's why there's teams like the Dallas Cowboys, like the Oakland Raiders, and Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, because you found out I am a great player, but money is the number one thing, and money is everything. So when it comes, Jimmy Valiant, you're on the losing side, because I am not your loan, and I am not your financial security, baby. You broke because I hate losers, and I don't carry losers, and as long as I am the Raging Bull, I will be financially secure.
Sorry, my mic was muted. So out of all three of them, the Raging Bull had the best. He could speak better than all three of them. Really, he was very good. He could always cut a good promo. That heel turn was huge for him because he'd been such a huge popular wrestler in the Mid Atlantic territory for several years. I guess around since I think it was like '84 or late '83 when he came in to the Mid Atlantic territory. And he was really, really over as a fan favorite. I mean, he had some good matches with Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. He would face off against any member of the Paul Jones Army, whether it be like Barbarian or maybe let's see, I think Shaska Watley and all those guys anyway. But he had a lot of good matches. He was really over, and he was kind of like mid card, mostly, except for maybe some runs with the World Tag Team titles, obviously. But he was well deserving to be like a U.S. champion or TV champion or something like that. So it'd been real good to see him. Now he did have some matches for the TV title, but he never could accomplish winning that. And it's unfortunate because he was so good at everything he did. And let's take a look at some more stuff from Manny Fernandez. Hang tight.
Paul Jones. It's getting down to the wire. Turkey Day is the big one of the year. And let me tell you something, Wahoo McDaniels, we're finished. We're through. We're not going to talk anymore. The ravishing one is going to upset you, and you're going to lose your first one. That's right, Chobani. Starrcade's right around the corner. The clock's winding down, and the marquee reads Wahoo McDaniels versus Ravishing Rick Rude Indian strap match. You know, the Bull and I, we've gotten a hold of our strap, a strap of our own, and we've been training real hard, and we've got everything down. We know where you're coming from, Wahoo McDaniels. He's had over 300 matches. It ain't no secret what he can do. Yours, McDaniels, is the fear of the unknown, because you don't know what I can do. Come Starrcade, we're all going to find out.
It's going like the Twilight Zone, Daddy. You're going to come in, but you ain't coming out. Because like I said it before, everybody's been running around wondering if the Bull's going to get in the cage. Well, baby, I ain't in, and I ain't going to get in. And you know what else? I don't see any Indian or any Boogie Woogie man running around here, or like a bowling ball, and have to face your kids every morning. So I promise you one thing. If you want to mess with a bull, like I said it before, it's a long, hard ride. And when you go down, Daddy, you're going down up.
All right, so as you've seen, there are two good interviews with Raging Bull. I mean, he could really cut a promo. He could wrestle good, the whole 9 yards. Raging Bull should be in any pro wrestling Hall of Fame there is, no matter where it's at, WWE included. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay around. We'll do some more. Got some Dusty Rose, Tully Blanchard stuff we want to do. We'll be talking about a lot of other things that happen in the Mid-Atlantic territories and other territories around. And also I might touch on the WWE and AEW feud. There's really not a war there at all. And I'll talk about that someday. Hang tight. But that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, God bless. See you soon.